The consumer duty has been an incredibly important initiative for the FCA with regard to the retail investment sector. The FCA has described the consumer duty as a golden thread that runs through all elements of the business of firms that deal with retail customers. They have also previously described it as a not once and done exercise. In other words, the consumer duty will be with us for the long term. So just a reminder of what the consumer duty is. The consumer duty is an FCA principle for business, which obliges all regulated firms in relation to their retail market business to act to deliver good outcomes for retail customers. The duty is underpinned by three cross-cutting obligations: act in good faith, avoid causing foreseeable harm, and enable and support retail customers. Further detail is set out in outcome rules divided into 4 categories: products and services, price and value, consumer understanding, and consumer support. The duty first came into force in relation to new and existing products and services from the 31st of July last year. One of the big consumer duty milestones for this year was that the duty came into force for closed products at the end of July. So firms should have scrutinised their closed products to understand whether there had been anything indicating poor outcomes to customers and make changes. For example, continuing to ensure that they offer fair value. Another key moment for firms was submission of the first annual board report. With this, firms must annually review and approve a report considering the extent to which the firm is delivering good outcomes for customers. Firms should have been gathering information to populate the first report since July last year. The FCA has said that it views these reports as being very important and will be reviewing samples of these over time. We have seen the FCA send out Dear CEO letters in May across sectors, encouraging firms to get ready for the closed book deadline, where they highlighted key themes firms should be considering: gaps in data, fair value, vulnerable customers, gone away customers, and vested contractual rights. Earlier in the year, the FCA gave examples of where it had seen good and bad practice across firms, reiterating that the duty should be embedded at board level and should not be a tick box exercise, but something to encourage meaningful change. On the 31st of July this year, Sheldon Mills of the FCA spoke on implementation of the duty. He noted that many firms have embraced the duty and used it to drive important cultural or long overdue change. He confirmed the FCA's view that consumer protection and growth are not mutually exclusive. He also mentioned that the consumer duty is intentionally flexible and outcomes-based, and announced the FCA's recent call for input, which has been introduced to explore how the FCA can simplify requirements on firms dealing with retail customers. The goal is to address areas of complexity and duplication which create regulatory costs without consumer benefit, and move towards more flexible and outcome-based rules, which is a positive step forward. What is now imminent is the FCA's plans going forward for the duty, whereby they intend to undertake thematic work across all sectors. Sheldon Mills confirmed that the FCA will focus first on the price and value outcome. Concluding remarks confirmed in relation to the duty that it is an ongoing journey for improvement that we're all on together. So what we can say about the duty is that we have now passed the implementation stages, but in the words of the FCA, this is not the beginning of the end, but the end of the beginning.